Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to figure out how to remove facial hair. So I have actually received this request a lot over the years, and it's just something that I realized I'd never actually done a video on recently. So I felt like it was a perfect opportunity to get right in there and teach you guys a few techniques that I use to remove facial fuzz or facial hairs. And I think it's no secret that pretty much everyone on earth is going to have facial hair, and to get rid of it requires varying degrees of difficulty. So there are people that do tend to have a little bit more, especially towards this area of the face. And with beauty retouching, this is one of those things that we generally do tend to soften or tend to remove. So I'm going to show you guys a few different techniques today on how I usually like to do this. Before we get into the video today, I just wanted to let you guys know that I am now offering coaching and mentoring sessions. So this will all be available through Teachable, where I'm currently running the Beauty Retouching for Beginners course. So I really wanted to put this out there in case any of you were interested in one-on-one sessions. We'll go through personalized curriculums over the subjects of photography, retouching, and business. So it's really all about how and what you need help in with your business and how you want to set your goals for the future. Now, there's a few different options that I do have available. I do have a 1-hour Zoom session with a follow-up, and I also have an 8-week package that will be a full coaching experience, and we will be doing several Zoom calls. As I said, I'll be giving you a personalized curriculum, and everything will be based around your business and how you would like to proceed. So if you are interested in one-on-one coaching sessions, just head over to Teachable. The link is in the description box below. And once you've messaged through with what you would like to achieve with your business via Teachable, then we can get straight into it and start achieving your goals. First off, I'm going to create a new layer just down here, and I'm going to rename this Healing Brush Tool. And then we are going to go over to the Spot Healing Brush Tool on the side here, which we've already got selected. For those of you with tablets, we're actually going to go up to where the brush settings are up here, and we're going to make sure that the size is set to pen pressure. Now this is going to create a little bit more of a taper, as you can see, and it's going to be based on my pen pressure of my graphics tablet. So that is usually how I like to remove hairs with this tool, because it sort of follows the natural line of how a hair does tend to look. So we are going to start running the brush over a lot of these facial hairs. And yes, this can be a very tedious way of doing it, but I do find that it is the most natural way of doing it. And it does tend to give quite a natural effect. So usually I would just start running it across all of the facial hairs that I can see. It's important to note how much is too much when it comes to using this tool though. So this is why I've got a few different methods that I generally like to use when it comes to removing these hairs. So first off, we're just going to use this tool, and I'm going to do as much as I possibly can and try and be as precise as I can as well. So I'm going to speed up this section now, and you guys can just see what I've done without having to watch 30 minutes of me doing the same thing. And before I do that, there is another way that you can do this, and that's by using the clone stamp tool. So a lot of people will prefer to use this method. I tend to like both, depending on how much facial hair there is to remove. Sometimes I will use the clone stamp tool, but I generally prefer to use the Spot Healing Brush. It is generally nice and quick, and it is still pretty precise. So I try not to remove any of the really tiny hairs or too many of the hairs, because you can start to lose the texture. And this, for me, especially with beauty photography and beauty retouching, is really important to keep intact as much as possible. So that's why I just tend to remove a lot of the main hairs that are showing and that look like they stand out a little bit more. So you can see with turning on this layer and off, you can see a lot of that main streakiness of those hairs has been removed, but we are left with a bit of patchiness. Now, the way that I like to then fix this issue is by bringing up my dodging and burning layers, my favorite layers. So bringing up a curves adjustment layer, we're going to make our dodge layer. So we're going to bring the line up, hold down Control and I on the keyboard, and we'll rename that dodge. We'll then create the same curves layer again, but this time we're going to bring the line down. And this will be our burn layer. So holding down Control and I to invert, we're then going to rename that layer burn. So because this is in a more shadowed area or in an area where there's not as much light hitting it, I will tend to use the burn tool a little bit more in this area. But for now, just at the edges here, just to blend in where it looks a little bit too uneven in these patches, I'm going to use the dodge tool first. So we're going to make sure that the flow is at 1 up here, 1%, and we're going to make the brush a lot smaller as well. So probably about there should be fine. And I usually also make sure that transfer is selected in the brush settings, but not shape dynamics and not pen pressure. I usually don't like to use this for dodging and burning. And then I'll also make sure that the brush is quite a little bit softer. I usually like to make it about 0%. And then I will start to paint in these darker patches just here to help blend in those uneven areas. So just anywhere where there's like a little dark patch, I'll just fill it in a little bit with the dodge tool. But not too much, because as I said, we're going to use the burn tool a little bit more often in these areas because it is a more shadowed part of the face, especially down in this area. So just turning off the dodge layer, you can see that that's created that little bit more evenness and just filled in those dark little uneven patches. So this time we're going to go to the burn layer and we're going to do the same thing but on the lighter patches here. We're going to fill in that with the burn tool. Same brush settings. And this just helps really even out those patchy areas on the skin and also really softens the look of the remaining hairs even further. And we're really going to just be a little bit heavier down the bottom here with the burn tool as well. Just really blending in those darker shadowed areas into the midtones. So you can see with the dodge layer how that's really softened those areas and the burn layer as well. And I'm going to do a quick snapshot to show you guys a complete before and after. So this is the before and then this is the after. So you can see what a difference that's made. Now, as a final touch, I personally don't feel like this image needs a lot of the next step, but as a finishing touch, I do tend to like to do this over those areas where I've removed facial hair, but there's still some that are apparent and I want to soften it even further. Usually what I would do is create a new layer and I would rename this skin color. I would then keep the paintbrush tool selected. I'd make it probably a bit bigger, keeping it very soft though, even bigger than that. And then I would start to hold down Alt on the keyboard and select a color of the skin tone. So probably around the midtones here. And then I would just softly go over that area with the paintbrush just to completely soften those areas. And I'd keep selecting with the eyedropper tool, just different areas of the skin tone, keep selecting to make sure that you're getting that variety of color. And I would do this to really just make it a finishing touch and really soften those areas even further. It's really important to not go overboard with this tool either though, because the more that you use it, the more plastic the skin can end up looking, and we really don't want that. So as I said, you do want to have a little bit of texture still showing through, so it's important to keep that there. But I think overall, if I turn that layer on and off, you can see that's really softened, particularly this area here where there were a few more facial hairs. Okay, so now it's time for a complete before and after. I'm actually going to zoom out just slightly so you can see what difference it's made as well. So I'm going to take another snapshot and go back to our original. So that is the original. And now this is the after, and I'm going to zoom in a bit further. So you can see that there's still a little bit of texture underneath, and we've still kept that intact, but still removing those main facial hairs and really softening that up a lot more. So guys, I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial, and if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please do, as I'll be putting up more and more tutorials in the coming weeks. Let me know if you do have any other requests for tutorials or any requests for videos in general. I hope this tutorial was really helpful for you, and please don't hesitate to let me know if there's anything else tutorial wise that you would like for me to do on this channel. So thank you guys so much for watching again, and I will see you in the next video.